We begin today's recording by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we are on. I am on Burrawang land. Where are you, Breeza?
I am on the land of the Djajarurrung people.
We pay our respects to the elders past and present and extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples who are tuning in today.
And wherever you're listening to the potty today, make sure you know whose land you're on. Join us each week for some booze-free banter about life without booze.
If you're entertaining cutting back your booze by a day, a week, a month, or for the rest of your life, we would love for you to tune in.
Buckle up and come along for a ride that may just change your life. If any of today's conversations have been triggering, please reach out to your local support centre in Australia. That is Lifeline 131114. Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's crack a bottle, Maso.
What are you cracking, Breeza?
What are we cracking, Maso?
I've got the finger lime Sauvignon Blanc by Altina. I don't know why I'm talking like this.
Delicious. And well, I've got all the three in the Liberate collection just behind me. The
Oh, you have?
non-alcoholic wine. So
Showcasing. It's not like me to try and one up you though.
Here she goes. Load her up. Load them up. And actually, well, I've drank this bottle. This is the Kakadu Plumber Rosé, which I have almost finished it. But yeah.
Oh, yum.
Such a nice range by Altina.
We love Altina so much. And they've given our listeners a Disney code.
They have, Maso. It's BFB15. And you can find that at www.altinadrinks.com. And yeah, we love their new range, Liberate collection.
Liberation
Massive
Nation.
fans.
Love you, Altina.
Love you, Altina. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miso.
Breeza.
It's another grey and gloomy day.
It is a grey.
Is it like that in Melbourne?
Yeah. I walked to the gym with an umbrella today.
Yeah, I had full raincoat on as well on my way to the
did
gym.
you?
Yeah,
hoodie. Had to dodge the to dodge the puddles.
Yeah, another grey and gloomy. I remember we recorded a couple of weeks ago, same situation.
Yeah, gloom dog. I love the rain though. It feels like it's washing it away. It's very cleansing. I don't get sad in the rain. I'm like, watering the garden. Great for the garden. Good for the greens.
Great for the garden and great for sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I just say, love it. Yes, love
so we got a tin roof. My brother specifically chose from tiles and changed it to a tin roof so he could have rain roof.
Legend.
Isn't that cool?
Legend.
Yeah. Well done, Normie.
How have you been? What's going on?
I have been so up and about, which is quite a big change from last week, Breeze, where I was beige-o and anxious. I was a bubbling mess last week.
That's right. It was a bit rough for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm not going to say sorry to listeners for having to hear that because that's just life and we bring all the colours. I'm not going to hold anything back and hopefully people related going, oh, yeah, I can get really anxious too and it's okay. My message to say it's okay. So I'm back up and about. Because I had a little impromptu solo date yesterday to Sydney. I bought a ticket to the Tina musical, which is playing at the Royal Theatre in Sydney. And I zipped up there, propped myself on a plane. I know I'm in an incredibly privileged position with my work situation that I can just jump on a plane at any time. You know, people save a year for this sort of stuff and, you know, I can do it like last minute. So I'm incredibly privileged with that. Just jumped on a plane in the morning, 9 a.m. flight, got up there at 10:30, went down to Darling Harbour, had a bit of brekkie, walked up to theatre, watched the show, jumped in an Uber, back on a plane, home, up and about. The greatest show. And it was so amazing. Like it was just up and about. I think it had a lot more emotion, obviously, because our Tina Turner, rest in peace. But it was so good. It was amazing.
Awesome.
So it's still playing, and we just had a look. It's still playing to the end of the year, so there's heaps of time to whiz on up to Sydney, Australia.
Is it coming to Melbourne? Do you know, Maso?
Not at this. It hasn't said at this stage. Sid at this stage. So haven't seen whether it's going to be travelling. Maybe it will. I reckon these sort of things to see how they're going and how if they blow up and then they might go on tour.
Yeah.
So test. Yeah, test run.
So you highly recommend it?
Highly recommend. Highly recommend.
Good.
I just, it's always just the end. You're just up and about. Yeah. It was so emotional at the end. It was incredible. I loved it.
Did you make friends? Do you know how you normally muscle your way in? And
yeah. Well, okay. I need to ask you this. And I feel, and I don't know whether it's because I didn't have a friend with me to be a buffer, but there was a little old guy next to me and he was sucking and chewing on a minty. So all I could hear was beside me in that ear. Then the lady beside me, I'm all up for having a sing and a dance and a wiggle in your seat and a knee tap and everything. But when you are singing louder than the actual performer, I think that's a hard no.
Yeah.
I'm all up for having a little sing to yourself, I think.
Get the volume down.
Don't you think?
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally,
mate. I actually had to I was making it obvious. I had my finger in one ear to just block her out so I could hear her, which was awful. But then I'm like, you know what? She was having the best time. Good on her. She was really in the moment. But I just think that's a little bit poor etiquette.
Crossed the line, I feel.
Yeah, so didn't really want to make friends with them. They weren't me mates.
Fair call. Yeah.
No,
you had a couple of pests.
Yeah, but at the end, obviously, I'm like, how good was that? I know it's so good, and we're all laughing about it. It was great, but yeah. But no, brilliant. I love it.
Like theatre people, like all concert people. Just like there's always stories that come out of like she had a high ponytails in front of me, or she did this, or he did that, or there's always something going on.
Yeah, exactly. So, that happened the other day because you know that I went and saw Anne Juliet twice.
Yes. I'm seeing it again. I'm seeing it in just when these potty drops actually for the second time. But yeah, you're one up on me at the moment.
Yeah, one up. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I took a friend who'd never been to the theatre before and he just absolutely frothed. But there was a lady sitting in front of me and she had her glasses on her head.
No.
Yes. So not only was I seeing like magnified through her glasses. No need. Take them off your head.
Put them in your bag.
Put them in your bag. Wear them or...
pop them away.
Yeah. So anyway.
You haven't had a glass wearer on head at the theatre before, but wow.
There should be an theatre etiquette police.
Yeah. There should be a head check when you walk in.
Check.
I actually thought yesterday because I went and watched my daughter at a gymnastics competition and I wore a beanie. I wore a beanie because I'd had my hair done the night before and I had that much hairspray and product and gunk in it and I didn't have time to wash it. So I just chucked a beanie on and I was like, oh, that's rude because people are going to be sitting behind me. I had a big pom-pom on it. So I was very head conscious the whole day and checking behind me, like checking, was aware of my surroundings to make sure I didn't like sit in front of anyone and block them off with the pom-pom.
With the pom-pom.
Yeah.
That's so funny you say that because the guy that I went with to the theatre was wearing a beanie.
Oh,
but he had, when it's a tight knit one. Yeah, no. So it wasn't up Harry high pants. It was like slouchy. But the funny thing is because he's like 6'6", but he slouches in his seat as well. Okay, he's really conscious about his height. So so he really low rider.
No, I'll let that one. I'll let that one. That's fine because there was another guy with a beanie on yesterday at the gym comp, but his was like a small one that sort of stuck to his head. So there was no height on it either. Check your head height, peeps.
Turn it down. Talk to me, Breeza. Tell me about you.
Well, can you hear that I'm a husky, Maso?
You've got a little sexy voice going on.
Well, I'm going to unpack this more on the potty, but yes, I'm also very tired today because I went to the community ball in Bendigo on the weekend. And can I just say we have such an amazing community in Bendigo. The community ball it's a second year it's ran, so it's become an annual ball event, and it was for the Cancer Wellness Centre. So at the Bendigo Health, so we've got like a state-of-the-art hospital in Bendigo. So it was like something like $630 million to build a few years ago, and we have a huge oncology area that's tied up to Peter Mac, and as part of that they have it's a house, an existing house they've turned into the Cancer Wellness Centre where they offer different modalities of healing, so Reiki, yoga, breath work, all this, what we would say alternative, I suppose, if you're not
holistic.
Holistic, yeah, thanks, mate. I was literally about to say that. And so, no, it's so good.
Give you a chance. Give you a chance.
They were raising money for the Cancer Wellness Centre. They raised $260,000, Maso.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is off the
Yeah.
chart.
So last year it was around 100,000. This year it was 260,000 K. And all it was an auction, and all the auction items were donated by local businesses, by local people in the community. And they had a silent auction as well. Again, all local businesses, community people donated goods, whatever services. And yeah, 260K, mate.
Incredible. Wow,
Incredible.
in one night. That's off
And
the
I was actually
charts.
sitting next to a fella from Melbourne, and he was even saying, he goes, this is unbelievable for, a regional centre to, and even the evening, Maso, it was put on so professionally. And I didn't know, but there was one of those 360 cameras there.
Oh,
When you stand in the middle and it goes around, and I didn't know, which is going to be part of today's discussion. I didn't know it was there. And then I saw people had posted that, on Sunday, their 360 videos. I'm like, didn't see that.
Well, you would have been all over that. You would have been a full
Totally.
pest on the rotisserie,
And I didn't see that. So, which, I will unpack in today's episode, because I did drink on the weekend, hence the croaky voice from darts. And I put a bit of makeup on today, mate. So I actually probably look less tired than I actually am.
Yeah.
But I will deep dive into that. But yesterday being Sunday, I was very tired. Got through the day though. It was a huge day yesterday. I left home at 9 a.m, got home at 7:30 p.m. I'd been in Melbourne for my daughter's gym competition. But I will speak about that further. But
can't wait to hear and unpack that.
But before we do that, let's roll into confession session. This actually, my confession session comes from a listener, and it does fall into the confession session section.
Okay.
But what about you, May? So what's your vibe today?
Okay, well, I can probably do a bit of a confession session too. It's a little bit flaky, but we'll go with that, because the rest of mine are just shame stories.
Okay. Let's roll into it.
Okay, let's do it.
Session, it's time to play. Where you tell us what you're ashamed to say.
Do you want to go first?
Okay.
It's time to play.
Okay, well, it's probably not just one particular thing. It's probably many. I feel like when I'm going to have breakfast around St Kilda at the moment, I feel like the wait staff are a little bit, not rude, but I feel like they look at me as if to say, I remember you. You're I feel like, that's exactly it. I feel like they're looking at me going, I remember you. You're an absolute fuckwit the last time you were in here. Do you know what I mean?
I know that feeling. I know what that feeling's like, Maso.
Do you know?
Yep.
Where I could be completely wrong. Like I was telling a friend about it the other day. They go, mate, you're not that important. But I am so paranoid because I feel like they're looking at me going, you're an absolute fucking knob the last time that you're in here.
Is this in the present time or a couple of years ago time, or still now?
No. So do you mean I feel like they're looking at me, remembering me from last time I was there.
Oh, so you feel like like in the present time now, if you walk into, oh wow, right.
But even then, even now,
then. Yeah.
Really, this is 2 years ago. This is so long ago. But in my head, I'm still thinking,
mate.
I'm still going through the shame of me being a fuckwit in their restaurants and cafes. Or
Totally,
I could be completely wrong.
Totally get it, mate.
They're probably not even giving it a second thought. But I feel like I'm that paranoid. They're looking at me, and I'm like, oh, I fucked up here. Do you feel the same?
I'm going to name drop with Bart when you guys had Sundance.
Hey, BJ.
There were times when I'd see him in a work environment, and I'd be like, oh, he probably thinks I'm an absolute twat because of how I used to carry like a pork chop in Sundance.
Isn't that
so?
funny?
Yeah, I know that feeling, mate.
He probably wouldn't even give it a second thought. I think.
There was probably 100 of F-wits around at the same time.
Correct.
So, but yeah, definitely those thoughts that go on in your head.
Yes, but I think it brings me back to one of our friends' mums talks about it. What is it? Takes a lifetime to create a reputation and one thing to fuck it up or something.
Yeah,
What's
1
that
minute.
line?
1 minute to destroy it.
Yeah,
something like that.
Like, do you think about people that have fucked up on the booze and you just hold them with that?
No.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Because people may very well judge someone on their whatever they did on the piss.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, well, they were drunk. That's not probably their true self.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you know, I was meant to go to a party, a birthday drinks on the weekend, and I didn't. There was a few friends that couldn't go, so there was only going to be sort of people that I sort of maybe knew when I was getting really hammered,
Right.
and I thought, oh, I don't really want to be around that, because how do I have those conversations now? They only knew me when I was wasted, and I'm be introducing myself again to these people that I've probably met a gazillion times before. But do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I didn't end up going. I ended up tapping out. I just didn't want to be around drunk people. I was happy just to stay in bed. So, yeah. Anyway, just that paranoia and the shame, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. I hear you.
Yeah. But if we were still drinking, would we have that?
Yes, I reckon. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And my actual outlook on it is so different now. And if I see someone that's really hammered, I'll be like, I wonder what's going on for them.
Yes.
Rather than going, oh, look at that dickhead, I'm like, I wonder, I hope they're okay. Like,
yes, I do too.
I look at it, do you?
Yeah, I do. I'm just like, oh, what are you escaping? What are you avoiding? And I also go, oh, that hangover is going to hurt so much tomorrow. I feel
It'll be amplified.
A bit sorry for yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Over to you, mate.
You're not alone, Maso.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, well, this actually came in from a listener, and I'm going to not name names here.
No.
Because there's other people involved. So her and her friend were out discoing, whatever, clubbing, and they got chatting to a couple of AFL footballers.
Oh, yeah.
And
hot.
So they ended up, hooking up with these AFL footballers back at one of their homes.
Oh, yeah.
And then her and her friend met up again and went back out to the discos. So went back.
Hooked up, had a play, and
and then must have, I don't know where they met, the kitchen or wherever they met, and like, let's go back out again.
Oh.
So went back out, discoing
after you'd had a bit of a play. It's like having a spew and then turn around and going back out again.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I could put my hand up and say I've done the whole spew thing. Yeah, but she named the people, but obviously we'll keep that.
Keep it under.
Lid on that.
Not a bad little claim to fame though, but I love it.
I know.
Just went out and got straight back up and again.
Went back onto the D floor.
Well played. From D to D floor.
Touche.
Well, I love our listeners getting involved. Thank you for that.
I know.
We've got a few of their shame stories. Thank you.
We have. Send them in if you've got them over email. Find our email now on our Instagram or Instagram at Booze Free Bants.
Yeah. Love that. Makes us feel so much better about
I know,
ourselves.
right? I know. Isn't that funny? Like, you think you're the only person that's done anything bad on the piss. But then once you start sharing, and I've had people, come up to me at functions and they've said, I listened to the podcast. Oh, you remind me of this thing that I did.
Yeah.
And tell me. So, yeah, it does. And it just makes you feel not as alone. So, yeah.
You are not alone.
Get it off your chest, peeps.
Okay.
So where are we at? What are we talking about?
We're freestyling. Just having a freestyle episode today.
A little check-in. Yeah,
a little check-in with how we're going, things that we've heard people comment, what they've said, things that we've written down in our notes. Just a little reflection, I think.
You just remind me of the comment that I had to say.
Okay. Yeah.
I've already shared it with you yesterday.
Oh, yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah.
Well, who wants to roll in?
Go for gold. You're fresh off your weekend, Breeza. So.
Well, yeah, actually, great idea, Maso. Well, you know what? Like we've sort of been chatting about how I have dipped my toe back in, and it's after the weekend, it's very evident that I can't moderate.
Wow.
Like remember you were saying to me, I'm just waiting for you to have a blowout. I feel like I did on the weekend, and it just made me go, yep, I can't moderate. Like, how do people do it? Who'll do it?
I don't know. And I think that is so profound what you've just said, That is huge, Breeza.
It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
the door was open a bit, and because the door was open a bit on the weekend, it got wide open and I was out and about.
Yeah.
So I've written some notes about I checked in with myself, Maso, like, because I rang you on the Saturday. I said, Maso, I think I'm going to drink tonight. And you're like, yep, well, thanks for telling me. And you supported me in my decision. You weren't going to go, don't do it, Breeza, da-da-da. But I checked in with myself because the whole day was a bit of a prep. I was sort of prepping for that night. And I was really excited, Maso. I was like, really, that feeling that we've spoken about.
And that's your favourite.
Yes, about that build up to that, that night out. And I was getting that little bit of excitement because we were going to a friend's to have pre-drinks before the evening kicked off. So I had my makeup done, I had my hair done, I'd coached netball, the girls had won and they played awesome. So I was really up and about. I had a new dress to wear. So the excitement was building. And then it was all booze was included. One thing I will say though, there was, again, this is just, this message needs to get out to more people. There was not one non-alcoholic choice except for soft drink. I think I don't know, I just feel like we're living in the olden days. Like I just think venues have responsibility. 100%. Do you reckon, or is that too harsh? I don't know.
No, not at all. I walked through the airport and WH Smith, a newsagent that sells snacks and candy and, they have got non-alcoholic drinks in the fridges. Do you know what I mean?
Really? Do they?
Yeah. I quite often take a little bit of footage. I should post it up. What did they have? That Vinada, the bubbles.
Yeah.
I noticed that was in there last night. There's Naked Life. There's all sorts of bevies in there.
I don't know. Is that the right place for a Maso?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
You're okay with that?
Yeah, 100%. Because I think it gives that people choice to be able to get on, have their bubbles.
Oh, so you mean to take it on the plane with you?
Oh, no, before.
No. Okay,
before they get on. Well, yeah, they can. They can take it on. It's just like having a soft drink. I think it's unreal. I love that. I know that you're a bit funny about that with like servos and stuff and with kids and stuff. Is that your angle?
Oh, it's more like I think it sort of downplays the non-alcoholic space if you're selling it to newsagents. Like, why isn't it at the bar?
Yeah,
a little.
100%.
That's the only angle I sort of coming from that. Yeah, like
Well, I think
put them where they belong, maybe.
Well, I like what you're saying, but for people that are non-drinkers, walking into a bar is like walking a gambler walking into a casino.
Yes, it's such a. I can see both sides. Of the coin here. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Good point.
So, it's I think it's a fantastic option, but I agree. Like these massive, like the MCG or Marvel Stadium,
I know, mate.
These big places.
Yeah,
how are they
you
not
can't tell me that everyone's drinking. And same with like Saturday night.
Yeah.
Or people want to have maybe one alcoholic drink and then they're driving, so they will just get on the non-alcoholic drinks, or they don't want a Coke.
Yeah.
Like
and
because like again, this is just speaking from my point of view. Maybe being a bit selfish, but I feel like if there were non-alcoholic drink options there, I could have gone 1 for 1.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, a little wedgie.
Yeah.
So
totally agree. And I just think I feel like it's a little bit ignorant in this day and age with how non-alcs are so prevalent in everywhere. Like you can't. Whoever's behind arranging these events is ignorant to it. I'll be put it straight out there. How are they not going, we should bring that in. Like
just have a non-alc beer, a non-alc bubbles, a non-alc wine,
Yep. Yeah, non-alc beer and bubbles would suffice because, even at the theatre, like, everyone's walking around with their glass of bubbles and I kind of have a little look behind the bar. I could see a heaps normal beers behind the bar.
Okay.
But you know how they have the little pop-up, as soon as you walk into a theatre, they have a little pop-up with, a few drinks. There's no non-alc bubbles.
No,
you know what I mean? If there was, I would have one. You still want to be part of it. I just think they're so far behind at the moment. It's disappointing. But anyway, I think we just keep making
and it's still
noise.
I suppose it's still a new space. I suppose it is. Like I had only heard non-alcs, 18, 20 months ago.
Yeah.
So I suppose it is still a relatively new space.
Yeah, I
but
guess
we want it now.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, I guess because we're so thick in it, we're just like,
yeah, because
you guys are all
such good tools.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, and I know you've leaned on non-alcs as well. Not for everyone, but certainly
Yeah.
in our experience, they've really helped.
Yeah.
So I've written down. So the night, just to quickly sort of skim over the night. So I drank. It was. Nothing bad happened. I think because I'm so much more aware now of, I don't know, what I'm like on the piss. I had to just basically dance the whole night. You know, had a good dance. But the end of the night, I actually red carded myself because my feet were so sore from wearing high heels. Like I was on my feet from 6 p.m. or even probably 6 or 5 p.m. till 2 a.m.
Oh, long time in the heelage.
Oh, long time in the heelage. Had those gel pads on and everything. But so the end of the night, I couldn't I was like, I have to get myself off this dance floor because I was literally, my feet were just gone. And so I took my shoes off in the nightclub. In the nightclub, so I'm like,
rat feet.
Yeah. So again, that's another reason why I'm like, I can't be on this dance floor because there's probably glass, drinks, God knows what. So I sort of went to the bar area and I was like, well, I've got to hide from the bouncers because they'll ask me to leave if I. So anyway, then I saw a bouncer's like, you need to put your shoes on. I'm like, yep, no worries, but I didn't. And then I was like, right, time to go. So there I was in this beautiful dress, shoes off, like. Struggling to walk to get to the Uber, just
classic.
I was about to say classic end of night.
Yeah.
Geez, I'm glad I went home and I did. But during the night, I probably ignored people who weren't drinking Maso. I went straight back into that. There's a beautiful girl at our table who was pregnant, and she's great value. I've partied with her before, and we spoke. But I was like, I was thinking if I wasn't drinking, I'd be hanging out with her the whole night.
Yeah.
And the other thing I noticed, I took note of that I didn't eat these beautiful desserts, like 3-tier sort of like little, like a high tea sort of situation, but they were bringing out these little 3-tier dessert things on the tables.
Yeah.
Didn't want a bar of it. Oh. Again, I would have been normally just like, oh my God, this is, if I wasn't drinking, enjoying that food.
The experience.
Loving that food. Yeah. So I woke up on Sunday, so tired, Maso. Oh. So tired. I had my daughter's gym competition. I didn't do any supermarket shopping. I didn't wash the kids' school uniforms. I got through the day, but I was like, I was firing on half a cylinder instead of 4 cylinders.
Wow, or 6 like you normally are.
6, is that normally 6, is it?
Yeah.
6.
No, 4, 6 is,
4 or 6, depends what you're running with.
I reckon you run on 6 normally. So it was a write-off. And your 360 thing as well.
Missed the 360 thing. Yeah.
Which you would have been normally all over.
I would have been all over it. So I'm not I'm not being too hard on myself because I was like, I could sit here and wallow, but I'm like, no, don't. Why do that? That's not serving myself or anyone else around me if I'm going to be all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
So, but it's just made me go, yep, you can't moderate. You tried, you gave it a red hot crack.
Yep.
But you can't do it.
Massive mic drop, mate. Massive mic. Can everyone just please stand and clap? Because I feel you so much, and I feel your pain with having to wade through and work out if you can, if you can't, feeling, and just to be able to reflect as you've done, to go, okay, why am I drinking? Okay, here's the education, and to be really honest about how you felt like you were drinking to fit in, that breaks my heart as well. That's. That inner child that we all have.
Well, I think, and even, with on Saturday, I was like, because I was like, okay, let's check in, why are you drinking? And I was like, I want to be on everyone's level, everyone else's level, because everyone that I was with were going to be drinking. And I was like, I want to be on that level with them. Wow. Yeah.
It's huge,
just,
mate.
the next day, because we know, I literally am addicted to feeling good.
Yes.
So the next day I was like, I just don't have that feeling today. I miss that feeling. I want that feeling. I was looking around the gym comp going, oh, these mums all feel good today. And I missed having that feeling.
The feeling really
and I
good.
probably felt down on myself for not having that feeling.
Yeah, okay. You laid it up,
Yeah.
gave yourself a bit of a punish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And diet went out the window, like all the things.
All the things. You just drop all the balls,
things.
don't you?
Yep. Absolutely, I did.
And
Absolutely.
you'll do anything to make yourself feel good.
Yeah.
And eat the shit food. And I'm glad that you're not giving yourself a hard time. Like a friend I was talking to this morning, he was just saying, just get through the day. Like, I'm glad you're just going to park that up and you're not going to, because I was going to ask, do you regret it or how you're feeling about it? But I love that you own it and just said, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I had a good time. These are the reasons I did it. You don't even need a reason. It's a really complicated, complex world of deciding what your relationship with alcohol is. And, you've done an extraordinary job to give it the flick for a year. You were always going to dip your toe back in. I did that for 12 years, and exactly what you were talking about, Breeza, is wanting to feel good. I had wanted that during my bouts of sobriety as well. That's what I was always chasing, is feeling good, but I kept getting sucked back in. I kept using alcohol and misusing alcohol, but it was still like I'd still walk in to the BWS to buy rosé, but at the same time going, don't do this. It'll feel shit. You want to feel good, but I'd still do it anyway. It was a battle, and I wasn't educated then. And I think that's what so great for the listeners to hear you work through that. And again, don't pin your sobriety to either of ours. And I just think you have given everyone a real gift there by saying, I can't moderate. Michael Jordan quote that we said, probably it was in the first episode, is once you've made the decision, he never has to think about it again. So
I know, it's incredible. I'm coming from the Mrs. Indecisive here.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say though, Maso, is that the best thing that I could have done yesterday was get out of bed and go to Melbourne for the gym comp, go to DFO, went out for dinner on my way home, and I didn't have that, which meant I wouldn't stay in bed wallowing.
Yeah.
You got up and bang.
You were still productive. And
I was productive, and I think that stopped my mind from then telling me shit that wasn't true.
Yeah.
As well.
So distraction. Yeah.
Yeah, mass distraction.
Yeah. And I think that's as you said, I said, how are you feeling? And you were saying, feeling pretty rubbish, just going to ignore it and, pushing it aside. Because I think we spent so long doing our heads in, didn't we, with that shame, guilt, remorse,
God,
anxiety.
so good at it.
So good. So good. I think that's amazing. And you know what, Breeza, if you go back and drink again, that's okay as well. And that's not giving everyone the green light to say okay, but we're very aware that, okay, you've made the call, you realise you can't moderate. But if, in a few weeks' time, you have a glass of bubbles.
I'm looking forward to not drinking because, and you know what? I actually, because I know how good it is to not drink.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
And I was getting the kids' lunches ready today, which was a carrot. I had done the grocery shopping, so I stopped at the baker on the way to school. But I literally here's a carrot, kids. It made me think. People who. Because I was a binge drinker, most weekends binge drinking. And so you get used to that feeling of just, tired shitness, and you accept that as that's going to be how it is.
Yes.
And then it made me feel sorry for those people that don't know how good it is to feel good when you don't drink.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
Like people who talk
these
about...
people going along in their life just rinse and repeat.
Yes.
And accepting it.
100% people that talk about they don't get hangovers. I think they're just used to feeling shit all the time. They don't actually even realise that's a hangover because that's just so ingrained in their life that, they just feel shit all the time.
But I think that's their level, where they're at, you know.
Oh, we'd love them so much to feel a pink cloud and how nice, Wow, mate, that's huge.
So
Good
it
on
was
you.
a big, it was very evident that I can't moderate. Yeah. And people who do, good on you guys. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how they do it.
No, I don't know either. I don't know how, there's a few friends that listen to the pod who can just have one or two glasses and be done, good on you.
That's incredible. Unreal if you can do that.
Yeah. And another friend who had, come out of rehab and they've got wine in their house she can just leave half a bottle of wine in the fridge. How? What do you mean? What do you mean you can just have half a bottle in the house? Like, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's a funny thing, isn't it? Alcohol, it affects everyone so differently. And I love that we bring all the colours to it. So, yeah, well done, mate, on finding where it sits with you. And because is that 12 months back to back now? So 12 months off it and then 12 months dabbling back.
Well, I'd only been I was 14 months off it and then it'll be 10 months because it was 14 months last August I was off it.
Yeah.
So it's 8 months on it ish, thereabouts, 9, 10, 11.
But you haven't, but even that'll do.
Back to back, yeah. We'll just say back to back.
But even in that, like, you haven't had a massive bender, like a proper blowout.
No,
you
I
still
haven't.
gave it a nudge, but nothing too loosey-goosey. No blackout.
Like it was. Yeah, I haven't been in a blackout
Can you
in that
hear
time. No, what is it?
Post
Someone at your door.
Post.
Oh, you got some mail.
You got mail. They're trying to deliver me some stuff. Hi.
Oh, did you need to get the door?
No, that's okay. We'll get it later. We'll leave it or I'll go to the post office. All good. Thank you, though. It'll just be my supplements from the naturopath, actually.
Oh, nice.
I should grab it. Oh,
Get it.
Nah, he's gone. He gone. That's all good. The post office is just downstairs. It's all good.
Oh, sweet. Sweet.
That was good for the listeners. Hope you enjoyed that. Could you hear the bell?
No, I didn't. I couldn't hear it. No. No, because your mic won't pick it up. Your mic doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta be close, baby. So spotlight off me now. Spotlight off me.
Spotlight off you and onto me. All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to be really delicate about how I tackle this conversation. And it really probably highlights my anxiety from last week because I said there was triggering things. Even talking about it now, I can feel my heart raise a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Maso.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. Listeners from the start have heard and I'm really conscious about giving this airtime because I don't want to keep banging on about it like I'm not over it or move through it. I really have. I don't have any huge emotion attached to any of it now. It's the reason that I talk about this is we can do hard things. Yeah. That's the highlight of what I'm doing here, and also that I've been able to do this sober. That is the highlight of what I'm saying here, but I wanted to give our listeners context of what's actually happened and why it has been extremely difficult, which I haven't said it. I haven't really touched on it. But anyway, so I probably shouldn't bring too much more attention to it. So my ex of 8 years that you would have heard me cry about early on in the podcast, we split up in July last year and he started a new relationship with a friend of the podcast. They were very open about that on social media and that was really brutal. And can I please tell anyone that is in this situation, the best thing you can ever do is not look at any of those images. And I did that. I haven't seen any images of them together and it was the best thing that I've ever done. I know that there's friends that have gone through similar things that have seen those images of exes moving on and it's just horrific. So I've done the really smart thing of choosing not to, and it has been the biggest prop to help me get through that. So that's been great. Anyway, their relationship moved on very, very quickly. And in sort of 9.5 months, they got engaged and bought a house. And their engagement party was on Saturday night. And leading up to that, I feel anxious talking about it now, actually. I could, I don't know where this emotion's actually come from. I think I said to you, Breeza, that, I've done all that sober. I've moved through that sober. And hand on my heart, I am a bit proud of that. It was a really heavy and hard thing to move through. I think having a breakup is one thing, and that relationship was no good for me. And they are much more suited. They are perfect for each other. And I'm much happier being out of that relationship. But it doesn't mean to say that, 8 years is still a long time, that you've tried square peg round hole for such a long time. I wouldn't change a thing. I'm grateful for all of it because I've learnt so much about myself and the growth and doing it sober and all that stuff. But I think what I was feeling last week, that anxiety and trigger, and it's about being left out. And I think with the way it had played out on social media, it felt very much like I was on the inside of the classroom or the schoolyard and they were all outside having fun and I'm not being picked for the team. It's like, ha, 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 look at us, you can't play with us, that type thing. That's the big feeling that I felt.
That hurts.
It does hurt. And I think it was that invisibility and the betrayal, and that's what really, really hurt. So I think, for context, that's how difficult this last, it's not even 12 months actually. That gives context of what's really gone on for me. And it's, my message that you can do things sober and you can get through them and we can do hard things. You just have to surround yourself in anyone who will listen. The amazing people that have come into my life that have supported me through it, and those daily rituals of sharing gratitude lists. I don't know where I would be without that tool. Staying strong, staying true to the cause. God forbid, can you imagine where I would be if I was drinking through all of this? Jesus Christ.
Oh, mate.
Jesus Christ. I would be a hard
Absolute
mess. And you yourself and one of our other best friends and actually another one as well, who he's been incredible support, have said, I can't believe you didn't drink through all of that. So this isn't me pinning big, being a hero about it. It just, the lead up to an event like their engagement party on the weekend, it did make me feel really anxious. But it's never as bad as what you think it's going to be. Yeah. When it came around to the time, I was meant to go to a birthday party on the weekend, and you know what? I just chose not to go. I was happy. I'd even had my hair done that morning. I was ready to go, and I decided, it was a cold, windy day. I just got back from a trip. I think I'd been in Cairns and Brisbane the days before. I was tired and I was just popped myself into bed, and I was really happy to stay in bed because I didn't want to be around drunk people as well. And I was really comfortable with that decision for myself. And then obviously I got myself up and I took myself on a solo date on, to Sydney. And, this solo dating is so powerful. Like, I've just started dating this other guy who I really, really rate and really like, and he wasn't around on the weekend, and I was going to be using him for a Band-Aid to get through that as well. So I'm glad that he wasn't available because I had to do that more work on myself. And I had to go back to me and who I was prior to dating this guy, and fill my cup. And I'm on the biggest high. Like, we can do hard things. That anxiousness of, calling the helplines, meditation, being calm. Like, there's just so many, or, having hot and cold showers, or just sitting in a ball, talking to yourself, that inner child work, and looking back at, I look back at the last 12 months, I'm going, God, it's been a big, not even 12 months. It's been a lot, it's enough to end a relationship and move on and be on your own. But when they move on so publicly, it's a lot, but I wouldn't change a thing. I've been so grateful for the whole experience. So that's
and I've watched on just in all, Maso, how you have got through that without band-aiding in a bottle. You've sat through some, pretty brutal emotions, and just as you were talking, which you should be so proud of yourself, Maso.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you, but you should be super proud of yourself.
Thank you.
But that emotion that you just, you waved a little bit at the start there, I think because you have been distracting yourself, you have been thinking about, what am I going to do on Saturday and Sunday on the weekend? I want to keep busy and don't have any idle time. Yeah. And it's probably now that you're talking about it, that those emotions do come up. Yeah. But you do hear that, when it's perhaps someone's anniversary is coming up, the death of their anniversary, like their anniversary of their death, that the lead up is a really anxious time, and you're thinking about it, and then on the actual day, it's not as bad as you thought it was, or you get through it more easily than you thought you would. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you've done that. I have. You've done that. And I feel so good about it. Like, I feel those milestones are hard, Yeah. And it does, when people move on and you feel you haven't, I felt like for a time, like I felt like I had to rush through it. Do you know what I mean? I had to find someone, and they've moved on. I needed to find someone, Yes. Bit despo, but I'm so. I mean, how lucky! I've had all the colours. Like, I've had this gorgeous roster of men. And and the guy you're dating, like, it's
Oh,
Yeah.
everything that I hoped for, like I'd manifest it.
Yeah.
I'd talked about it in the pod. Like even when I talked about it in the pod in my dating episode, saying all the things I wanted, I thought, oh, that's a bit much, like as if. But yeah, I'm very lucky, I feel. And actually, do you know what? A friend said to me, you're not lucky, be grateful, because I feel like lucky, you feel like you're not worthy of these things. So it's not luck. Like, you know,
You deserve it all.
I do. I feel like I've done the bloody work, and there's still a lot of work to go. So much work to go.
Yeah.
But I think you've just got to, you know, every time I, you know, have bottom out, it does propel me forward, and you just got to trust that process. You're not going to stay in that anxiousness and that grief forever. Just keep doing the work. Keep going to therapy. I've got more therapy coming up. Acupuncture. I've had Reiki, a remote healing session, which has cleared anxiety from my heart and the betrayal, and not drinking, just choosing every day not to drink, just healthy choices that you make, gratitude lists, listening to really calming meditation music, sleeping, really honouring your body. Like, your body has been through a trauma and grief, and it needs time to heal. Going to the gym every day. Like, there was a couple of months there that I didn't train. I couldn't get out of bed, you know. So I'm like, something needs to change here. What my normal workout routine is these hardcore HIIT exercises, and if I'm not putting an hour of absolutely flogging, you know, throwing balls to the wall and setting the gym on fire, I'm not doing it at all. And I got the naturopath on board. She's given me some amazing supplements. That's my friend Elise Brown. She's Henbane and Hecker. She's on our Instagram page. Jump on her, see her. She's up in Sunshine Coast. She's given me some amazing supplements, which have really sorted me out. You know, keep hustling to look for a better way to be, and that reflection on who I was in that relationship as well, that's the pattern of behaviour that I had. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I was such a fixer and such a rescuer, and that's essentially just about ego, you know. So yeah, there's been huge lessons, and that's it. I think the biggest thing that I find too now, Breeza, is when I'm bottoming out, I'm looking for a lesson and a growth. I'm like, what am I learning here? There's going to be a lesson and a growth and a learning, and there's going to be growth on the other side of this discomfort. What is it? You know, just
love that.
Honestly, my life is the best that it's ever been, and it's just getting better and better and better. But I'm not cured. I'm not, you know,
you're work in progress.
Yeah. Because of the health
level.
Yeah, because of the healthy choices I make daily, and they can be just little 1%ers. Things like, I went for a walk with Bridgie the other day, and there was a dog poo on the ground, and it looked like a melted chocolate paddle ice cream. And instead of I stepped over it, and I thought, hang on a minute, double back, grabbed some dry grass, and went and put that over it so that no one else would step in it. Do you know what I mean? Those little services for other people make you feel good. Or stopping to take a group, seeing someone taking a photo of a group, stopping and going, would you like me to take a photo for you? Those little things, I'm packing a little couple of dollars or an extra protein bar in my food bag, that when I see homeless people that I walk past every day when I walk into the city, I'll give it to them. You know, just being of service to other people gets you out of your own head as well. And
yes,
you know, like, focus. It's just,
well, I think there's scientific, and I'm going to butcher this, but there's scientific proof to show that when you do an act of kindness for someone, you get a rush of dopamine.
100%. And I think I've mentioned that before in the recos, is get off, once you've listened to the pod, send a message to someone that you've been meaning to check in on in ages. How are you? Let's catch up. So yeah, anyway, so that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Maso.
Yeah, so
I think you need to give yourself a pat on the back.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Double dog.
Thank you.
Because I still look on in awe that you have got through a very hard time in your life without dousing booze on it.
Thanks, mate. Yeah.
Whereas I can't get through a bloody community ball without drinking it.
Thank you.
It's very, very admirable that you've leaned on, you know, all the tools, and you've searched for tools, you've searched for other means to help you get through this purple patch,
Yeah.
and you have, mate, and you're coming out. Like, I reckon you're out the other side of it. Obviously, things are going to pop up, but you're out the other side.
Yeah.
And you're just getting stronger and better.
Yeah. Thank you.
And it's an exciting time
It
for
is
you, mate.
exciting.
Like, it's
do.
really exciting time.
Thank you. And I think that's why I'm comfortable to talk about it today. Like, for a long time I've wanted to talk about it, and it's hard because you're kind of like, why do I have to ride the fucking moral high road and not, you know, they could be over there putting it all over social media. Why can't I hit back? But no, I've been classy as I haven't said a word to anyone.
Yeah.
They've got their relationship and they're happy and they're in love, and, you know, I wish the best for them. You know, they've really met their match, and, you know, that we weren't meant to be, and that's okay. You know, I've learnt so much from the whole thing. But I'm excited. Like, I feel just so pumped for my life now of what I've learnt and who I am, and I'm glowing from the inside out, and I know I can feel that. Like, I'm just
You're up and about.
I can't even have the words. So thank you, and you've been such an incredible support too, Breeza. I know that's been really difficult for you. It's hard when friends are involved, but I really appreciate all the support from everyone. So thanks. So that's the story. That's the context, folks. There you go.
Yeah, well done, mate.
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. And I know, it's not easy to talk about these things, but I think it's important, and you are inspiring others, Maso, without a doubt.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thank
Without
you.
doubt.
Well, yeah, we can do hard things. And that's right. That's what, like I said before, I can talk about it now, and because I'm so removed from it, there's not a huge amount of emotion attached now. So yeah. Good on them. So I wish them well. Wish them a happy marriage ahead.
Yeah. Yep. I am just going to circle back on something.
Do.
Because I mentioned this to you yesterday. I'm going to be sweary here. Okay. Just a warning, people.
Love it.
This fucking shits me, okay?
Wow.
So
fired up.
I'm fired up as fuck. Sorry, Mum, if you're listening.
She's fighting. She got fighting words. Pow.
When I was at it's like a nightclub slash, I'm gonna call it out. It's Pugs. So it's like a nightclub slash pub in Bendigo.
Hashtag dive.
Oh, look, it had live music and
we all go
I think
there.
you have to be. I think you have to be.
Yeah. That's okay.
Sideways. But anyway, I was there, and I this is on the weekend. I walked past a guy I know, and I said, "Oh, g'day, such and such." He goes, "Oh, g'day." He goes, "Hang on a minute, this is a pub. What are you doing here?"
Oh,
And I was just like,
fuck off.
"Oh, Maso." I was like, this is why, like, the ignorance of people is just so insulting.
I'm furious for you.
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't even, it was that much of a shit comment that I wasn't even going to bite back at him. I just kept walking. I was like, jog on, mate. But I couldn't even. I wasn't in the mood anyway. I was like, there's a good song on the dance floor, so I was making a beeline to the dance floor. But yeah, I was just like, I couldn't even.
It's just the ignorance.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I can.
It just was fucking shit. Instead of saying, "Oh, Breeza, you had 40 months off the booze, well done," it was like, "Oh, this is a pub. You shouldn't be here."
Oh,
fuck off.
It just
fuck right off.
Yeah, I can see you.
I was so fuming about it.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh. Uneducated, like, and it wasn't even a funny ha comment. Like, you can have a joke about some things, but it wasn't even. I was like, get out of my grill.
Yeah. Well, it says so much more about them, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. But you know what? I actually rated this guy. Like, he's, And I was like, that's a really dumb comment coming from you. I thought you were a bit better than that.
Do you reckon he's
anyway,
regretting
I've never been a great judge character. I'll just say. I've never
Don't
been
you
that good of a
reckon?
judge. No, there's nah.
Really? I wouldn't have
there's
thought
one
that.
yeah, there's a couple of things that have popped up, and I'm like, oh God, I had them completely in a different category of person. It's really interesting.
Wow.
Really interesting. Doc is a really good judge of character, and then and I'm just like, so shit.
Do you find
in some cases?
Do you know? I had a friend actually say to me when I was over in Abu Dhabi, because she's very oh God, I love her. She's such a gun. She's very select who she lets into her inner circle, right?
Yeah.
Very select. You have to do a lot to get in there, and to be in,
yep.
like, it's a massive deal. So we became really friends. And she goes, the thing about you is you let everyone in, everyone comes in, but then you got to try and get them out because you work out who they are. Do you know what I mean? And you're like,
she's saying this about you.
Yeah, about me. Yeah, because I'm just like, I just want to include all the people. I never want to let anyone feel left out. And then they come in, and I'm like, oh, you're a dick. How do I get rid of you? Do you know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean.
Oh, I'm sorry, not a dick, but you know they're not.
Yeah, you're like, you're not my people. You're not
my person. I give everyone the benefit out. Think the best about everybody. Bring them in, and then, how do I scram?
Oh,
shoo, get out.
That is a pisser.
Yeah, that is funny.
There was another girl I was speaking to at the ball.
Yeah,
and she is a listener.
I love this.
So shout out to Dimity. Shout out.
Dimity. Hey.
Yeah. So yeah, she's a listener, and yeah, she made me feel really good because she was just saying how she enjoyed the podcast, which is awesome.
Love that.
So I hope she doesn't mind me saying her name, but yeah, it was really nice, and she put me in. I just got the warm fuzzies about it. So yeah, I was very appreciative. So thank you, Dimity.
I love that. That's gorgeous, and particularly coming off the back of old mate saying, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And then
old mate was after. That really ruined it, the vibe then.
Shut down. Damn it. Anyway, Dimity, we love you. Thank you so much.
Yep.
I can really relate to what you were saying though, Breeza, because I don't know whether I've told you this story about how flight crew captain at work had his
tell me again though.
Yeah, so he said, have you tried these CC and lime and sodas? He wanted me to put them in the fridge at work, so he packs a couple, like fully packs an esky of booze to have when he gets to the hotel, like committed to the cause.
Committed.
Yeah. I said, no, I haven't tried them, like, you know. I said, I've been off the gas for 18 months. And he just snapped at me. He said, why would you want to go and torture yourself like that for?
Oh, yep. Dumb comment. Dumb comment.
And so, yeah, I'm like, wow, you're travelling with a 10-pack, a little SG. Yeah, wow. And then he was just quite moody with me after that, and he was a bit horrible and ignored me. So I've obviously triggered him big time. I must have put him in. That's a massive commitment to pack your little esky full of booze and get them put on in the fridge so they're cold for when he gets there. Like, that's a whole situation.
Would you have done that though?
I never did. And I was wondering whether I would. No, that's a lot. I just used to give the minibar a touch-up.
Yeah, that's right. You just get
straight into the wines. Yeah. And then run around the next day trying to replace them. That's right. Fuck, it was a whole situation. Jeez, I'd spent some money on booze.
I know, right?
Yeah. A couple of other funny things that people have said as well, because this is our freestyle sesh. When I was in the pool, where was I? I think it was in Fiji, and the brother and sister were fighting in the pool. And one of the mums said, that's why we need wine. And I just thought, no, you don't. Like,
do you like now, Maso? Because I heard a few comments on the weekend, just in general, like, oh God, we need to get a drink, or I've had a big week, so I need a drink. I just ignore those comments. I just like, yep, yeah. Like, I don't. Yeah, I just let them go. Yeah, I don't, because they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Here's some more for you as well. Is a guest on board said something about, I'm just going to have these drinks to help me go to sleep, and I'm just like, I just laugh and go, yeah, and I'm like, no, it's not, mate. Like, that's not helping you sleep.
You're not going to get your REM sleep.
No, exactly. But do you know one of the crackers that I've realised recently? I think I mentioned on another pod, but it happened again, that there's such a big thing about if you get medication, you can't drink on it, and the doctors and the pharmacists really make a hoo-ha about it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, but you can't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's a thing.
For you.
Yeah. Like, they really make it a thing, and I'm like, nah, she's sweet, mate. I don't drink. It's not an issue. But it is such a... alcohol is so ingrained in our life. I'm so sorry. You can't actually drink on these. Like, it's going to ruin your life. Like, it's extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah. And like, I would have been up there with saying all those comments.
Mate, I was still drinking on a medication anyway. I wouldn't have cared. I was like, whatever, how fun. I just want to see what it'll do. Yeah, so there you go. How's our hash out? Freestyler, rock the microphone.
Freestyle. Well, it's good to check in as well, I think.
Yeah.
Just a good little check-in.
Yeah, good little check in, check out. So how would you how would we rate our sobriety at this stage? I'm nearly clocking over 2 years. You've had a 14 months into this
one day. I'm like, I'm going to start from the start again. Fuck.
That's good though.
I know. I was so proud of my 14 months. I was so like, that's some big numbers there. So yeah.
Totally. And I think most people are the same. We'd love, exactly the same. No one's ever getting sobriety right the first time. It's the destination. There's no destination. It's a journey.
I know. And do you know the other thing I noticed too, Maso, is just like the next day, bags under my eye, like just my complexion.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then the whole eating and all that, I'm like, right, it's purely vanity now because, but yeah, all the things, like I wasn't the best mum I could be. Like I looked like shit. I'm just going to say it how it is. I looked like crap. And I was boring because I was so tired. The next day. So yeah.
And then you drop all the balls with getting yourself organised for the weekend as
well.
well.
Totally.
Yeah.
I was even struggling to upload it because I hadn't uploaded the podcast until Sunday. Like I got home from Melbourne. I'm like, I've got to put the podcast up.
You wrote that blurb and I'm like,
I sent you the copy. I sent you the copy because I'm like, can you just check over the copy, Maso? Because I'm just like, a bit of a brain fog situation going on.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
So yeah, but I have got a cracking phone fuck up.
Oh, just before you go with that as well, just to because you're asking
up.
me where my sobriety was, I'm pretty sure you asked that. As well.
Sorry, I did ask you that. I totally did.
No.
Wait for your answer.
No, well, I had a friend because she knew. Yeah, exactly.
Hang on, what do you rate it? What do you rate it out of 10?
Oh, I'm 10 out of 10. Staunch as fuck.
You're a 10 out.
Yeah, 10
bang.
out of 10.
Bang.
Staunch as fuck. No issue there. But however, a friend, because she knew how wobbly I was last week, anxious, building up to, where, poor me, like,
yeah.
shit, and me going out on Saturday night, she was really worried. She thought it was a dangerous situation. She thought I would drink on Saturday night, and I think that's really interesting. So no, there's no issue with me drinking. I would blow my life up if I drank now. There's no point. Like, what's the point? There's no point. I love.
Yeah, you're so staunch.
Yeah, so that's where it's at. So
one thing I will say is one of our guests, Elle.
Yes.
Who was on season 1,
yes.
I reckon.
Yep.
She actually did a post on her Instagram the other day saying she was feeling a bit boring in her sobriety.
Oh.
She was a bit bored. I think she was feeling bored or feeling,
bit beige.
She was feeling a bit beige in her sobriety.
Yeah.
Oh. She was getting a bit over it almost.
Yeah, right.
And because a company had sent her some new AF drinks. So she's like, I'm excited to be getting sent these drinks because I was a bit bored in my sobriety. So yeah, and she's 2 years. I was like, well, that's an interesting observation that she's made.
Yeah, interesting.
With herself.
Which we swing in and swing out of, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
100% we do.
Interesting. And I think that's the message, isn't it? Just get through today.
Just get through today. I'm day one.
You bored?
Again.
You bored?
I'm yawning. I'm still tired, mate. Still tired. But I'm day one.
Day one.
Which I think we should. I think we need to, at the start of each potty now, Maso, say what day we're at.
I love that. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Okay, great. Yeah. Day one, really, and I'm day...
Really accountable now.
Yeah.
Well, day 1.5. You're like 1,000 something. What are you?
I don't know.
You're like...
Absolutely no idea. But I'll...
Nearly 2 years, so you're up there.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Phone, fuck up with the PH, so we didn't give an F for the call or text. Phone,
so this comes from someone I know. It's happened, and I was actually on the end of this phone fuck up. Well, sort of on the end of it. So this happened probably 15. I'm going to say no. It would have been. I'm trying to do the maths in my head. Not doing it very good. I think 12 years ago. 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was out of town. With a friend, and I was a partner at the time, and or fiance at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were out and about, and we'd run into a mutual friend that we knew, and so we swapped numbers with this guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was that was, I don't know, say on the Wednesday, whatever. And then on the Saturday night, we were out. This other guy wasn't there, but my fiance at the time got a text from old mate.
I love this already.
It said, "Hey, such and such, are you available at midnight?"
Oh,
And so, yeah, my fiance at the time wrote back going, "It's such and such here. Like, I think you got the wrong number." And he wrote back going, "Oh dear." So he thought he was texting a sex worker.
oh, shit.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, so there must have been a little bit more involved in the text, but all I know is that he thought he was actually texting a sex worker to offer her services for him.
Yes, boy.
Then he fully got caught. He was so sheepish. Like a few days afterwards, I was like going, "This is the funniest thing ever."
I love it. Busted.
Totally busted.
How funny.
Totally busted. Yeah. It was hilarious.
That is so
hilarious.
funny. Thanks for sharing that.
Poor guy was mortified. He was so mortified.
No doubt. Before we jump into our recos, we just need to mention our other potty partners in Cinch and Gut Performance. How much are you loving Gut Performance, Breeza?
Oh, every day. Haven't missed a beat. Haven't missed a beat.
Good gear.
Great gear.
Our prebiotic to get you started every day. You have yours on your fancy porridge and I have mine just down the hatch. For reducing bloating, improving energy levels, exercise performance, recovery, skin health and appearance, improving mood, immune system function, digestion, all the things, because we're so happy and healthy, aren't we?
Love it. Yeah. I even Sunday morning I made sure I had my Gut Performance.
Good girl. Don't you reckon you feel a difference? Are you really regular now too? How's your poo?
Poo's good.
Yeah. Great.
Poo's good.
Love that.
I'm all about looking after the gut.
Yeah, it is. It's that where it all starts, and the correlation between your gut health and your mental health. Wow, people don't get it. So look after yourself, folks. So Gut Performance, they have given us 15% off when you use the Dizzy code BFB15, and you'll find them at gutperformance.com.au.
Correct.
Yep. And Cinch Skin, because we love like glowing up as well, looking after our skin and our gut.
Love a bit of glow.
Yeah, a little bit of glow. They are our skin fuss-free, aren't they? What have you got there?
It's simple, easy. Well, actually, and do you know what I was thinking about Cinch the other day?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's called Cinch because it's like a cinch. Like
Cinch. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah,
it's clever.
So I love it. It's uncomplicated, multi-benefit skincare routine packed with clinically proven ingredients for maximum results.
Yeah.
And they have given us a huge 25% off their single full-price products.
Yeah.
The discount code is BFB25 and they can be found at www.cinchskin.com.
We love them.
So thanks, team.
How lucky are we?
Absolutely frothing.
Yeah,
at both of those products.
Yeah. We love them. Thanks, gang.
It's time for the recommendation of the week.
Well, this is a timely one because I did this on Saturday. And again, I feel like I'm in a privileged position to be able to do this. Because I was going to a ball, I was like, I am going to treat myself. And I went and got my makeup done.
Oh, how
and my hair done.
Beautiful.
And it is an absolute treat because it's not cheap. It isn't cheap to get it done. But I was like, if you are, it's probably more for our female listeners, but if you're a male listener and have a partner or a friend, wife that's going to go to an event, spoil them.
Love that.
And shout them their hair and makeup because you feel so special, Maso.
Yeah.
I just felt so special. And the girl who did my makeup I hadn't met before, and we had a good old yarn, good old gas bag, and same with the hair actually.
Yeah.
So it was just, it was, and they did such an incredible job. So I felt very, very special.
Love that. Little tiz up. What a treat.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. I love that, Breeza. Love that. Yeah, it's a bit of a treat getting your hair and makeup done, isn't it? I've got two recos actually
Oh, two.
Two.
Here she goes.
I've got one product. I haven't done a product for a while.
No, you haven't done a product for a while.
So
What have you got?
I was getting stuck into the coffees, going too hard at the coffees, right? Replace one thing. We're always looking for a little vice. And I was going too hard at the coffees. And when I spoke to a naturopath, she said, okay, you can have one coffee, just not two, and not have that first coffee in the morning because that's just sending your cortisol off the charts. Like it's too much caffeine, no good robbo. So she said, have like a really nourishing drink or a tea. I love a chai latte. So if you can see there, this is
What brand have we got?
Avalanche chai style chai latte.
Chai latte,
It
cafe
is
style.
gluten-free and it's a sachet, so perfect for little travelling. It is the best
Gorgeous.
gear, and because I have tried all the chai lattes, I've bought all of them, and this one is the best one so far. So I'm right into it. So Avalanche.
So is
chai
that the
latte.
original flavour? Like just original flavour?
Yeah,
righto.
that's the good gear. So love that. So that's and it just feels like a warm hug. It's a beautiful way to start your day, nourishing, really thinking about it, going through your body. It just feels like a really, really nice thing to do rather than a aggressive coffee straight up. Have your
Where do
coffee
we buy it
later.
from?
Just at Woolies.
Woolies,
Yeah,
okay.
Woolies, that's where I got that from. So yeah, it's
Right.
pretty fat. So listen in, Avalanche, come at us. And the
Great reco.
other thing a friend said to me the other day, and this is probably good for like phone fuck up as well, or if you're feeling like you need to give someone a spray, or you're like, "Ooh, I'm not sure about that text," send the text to yourself and see how it feels when it lands.
Yes.
You know,
Brilliant.
and when you open it and
Brilliant.
what that looks like before you
Great.
send it.
Love this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love this.
So
Love that.
that's another thing.
I
Actually,
need to do that.
and that's all. I'm going to leave the next reco for next ep.
Okay.
So I don't
Yeah.
have three.
Back up.
Yeah.
Back up, girlfriend.
I know, gotten greedy. I was so beige last week. I've gone hard this week.
She's back on her recos.
She's back, baby. Listeners, we thank you so much for getting all over and throwing 5 stars on. Share it with a friend. Subscribe,
Yeah.
download,
Tell
all the
us-
things.
tell us what you think.
It helps us grow and gets the message out there, and it'll help someone. We know it will, and it does. So we.
It helps us in the search tool of the podcast app. So, yeah.
Gets noisy.
5 stars, baby.
Yeah. Oh,
Give it to us.
thank you, Breeza.
Thanks,
That was
Maso.
a great hit out.
So good
Thanks,
to catch up.
Thanks,
So
E-Dog,
good.
our producer.
Thanks, E-Dog.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
We'll be back next week.
with something fun.
Yes.
All right.
Sure it is. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is proudly produced by our audio engineer, music extraordinaire, Eric Ladd.
We love you, Eric.